seems that Meghan Markle's finally realised that she's made a huge, stupid mistake. Her words, I might point out. In fact, she's handed this literally on a plate to all of her, well, distractors and, of course, enemies, some might suggest. But now, as ever with Meghan and Harry, is it simply all too late? Let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you today. Thank you so much for taking the time out to join me. Hope you're all keeping well. A beautiful sight, isn't it? People just strolling around in the spring daylight. There's nothing like it, is there? Nice bit of fresh air. And I know I often say this, for those that can't get out, and I know there's many of us with mobility problems and all that sort of stuff. I know it's so hard, just get near the window. If you can, just pull back and have a bit of air coming in. I know if you're cold and it's in winter in your area, don't do that, don't get yourselves a chill. But do you know what I mean? If you can, it just really helps, doesn't it? Getting out or getting near nature invigorates you. Well, not as much as winning the lottery. That would really, well, we'd all be, yes, well, we'll be all on holiday at this point, wouldn't we? Wouldn't be bothering about that, absolutely. Back as ever, though, to your royal story of the day. It's funny how I can make myself giggle, isn't it? Only had one number. Have you won anything on the lottery? Let me know. I know I never win anything. A friend of mine won once £10, I think, and he mistook it for the big winner. And we were literally, it's terrible, isn't it? Planning everything when we got there, because it was the early days of the lottery. And he said, oh, a tenner. I thought, marvellous, you know, barely enough money for the petrol back, you know what I'm saying? Now, back to your royal story. Interesting this, because when you think about it, you know, many people would have advised the former royal known as the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle. Here she is, willy-nilly, whirling round with those baskets of jam and lemons and shredded paper and bowls, sending it out to chums who are literally, you know, got a gun held to their head, if you like, by basically saying, say something nice about my jam, you know. What difference does that make? Anybody in the world of marketing simply knows it's a mistake not to have your product up front. You have to have all your ducks in a row, as they say. And here's the problem, you see. Now, Meghan, as you can imagine, didn't take too kindly to the fact that the Royal Collection Trust and, of course, Prince Charles's range of jams all decided to put out ads. On top of that, one of Meghan's alleged favourite shows, well, Catherine's at least, Downton Abbey, Highclere Castle, they put out a little ad for their own jams. It's not being negative, it's the time of year. They're opening their shops, they're expecting lots of visitors, normally the first or second weekend of spring. So consequently, they're thinking, right, we need to get these things out there. Sales have literally gone through the roof. Sales have gone through the roof at Highclere Castle, literally at the Royal Collection Trust, at the Buckingham Palace shop, you name it. People have suddenly thought, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind a bit of jam. Meghan has lost out literally big time. Now, I'm not suggesting that she would have sold trillions of jars of jam, but the stupidity of this apparently empowered woman who's giving speeches to everybody, telling you where you should be going with your life, she can't even get together a pot of jam to get sold to an alleged audience that may or may not want it. Do you understand? Now, what's interesting here as ever, the failings don't come to Meghan. No, apparently her team have been hustled round now for a, shall we say, meeting, to put it politely, to find out exactly how they can correct this. Quite simple, sister. Get your hands in the pans and, more importantly, start making pots of jam. Get it out there to be sold. Stop blaming other people, and more importantly, other jam companies are allowed to promote their jam just because you're sending around things via Instagram to your chums. You get the picture? Either way, Meghan, once again, has literally given away her potential money-making profits, literally on a plate or a knife alongside a scone or a crumpet. Now, do you agree? New Sean in the very heart of London.